Our next guest has called for regulation to safeguard public discourse and democratic norms from AI abuse, saying platform accountability is critical and even calling for a limit to the First Amendment. Shlomo Kramer is the CEO of Cato Networks and joins us now. Shlomo, thank you very much indeed for joining us. The cat's out of the bag, isn't it? I mean, I don't see how any regulation or First Amendment changes could limit this now, because the moderation, it seems, from the sites has gone backwards rather than actually improving. Good morning to you, sir.
Thank you for having me. And first of all, I want to clarify, I'm all for free speech, but we need to make that free speech very clear and very distinct from manipulated AI campaigns that are intended to drive polarization and undermine our democracies. And that was the main intention of my proposals. I don't have a solution. I'm sorry to tell you. I have a beginning of ideas, how to regulate the platforms, how to strengthen the authenticity and quality of every voice on these platforms, how to educate people to use this information in order to make up their own minds, and clear a little bit of the situation that is, you agree with me, is becoming impossible.
Yeah, I do agree it's becoming impossible, but you've got kind of various actors involved here, but you've got the ones who are pushing their own ideologies from the left, from the right, from a government point of view, from a bad actor point of view, and then you've got the ones who are manipulating those voices anyway as well. On either front, I can't see, I guess like you, how we're going to improve the situation. You've got voices being magnified, rightly or wrongly, using some form of libertarian stance. And then you've got, as I say, you've got the second group of people who are distorting those views anyway. Neither is positive for the future of social media, of the internet, of AI.
I believe there are technological ways in which the platform players, first and foremost, can improve the discourse environment on their platform, if they will become accountable for the content, if they will become accountable for the authenticity and quality of the speakers on the platform, and represent that quality to whoever is listening to that speaker and exposed to their information. They have the ability to identify manipulating AI-generated content. They have the ability to identify manipulative campaigns. All of these are enemies of free speech and need to be controlled versus allowed or even cultivated for various reasons. So this is all for free speech measures that needs to take effect, and the governments need to force this on the platforms.
When it comes to the latest example, and we were just reading it into you, and this was around the misdemeanors by Grok. I know a lot of the AI bots have had misdemeanors, but in this particular case, around creating sexualized images of women and children. What do regulators need to do in this instance? Do they need to send a message around fines and to create some sort of regulatory environment?
Yes, and all of these are good ideas. I'm not going to give a fully formalized solution. I don't think this is my role or this is the place. But we have technological tools. We have the ability to put guardrails. We need to put the regulation that forces these in order to combat this problem. And first and foremost, we need to elevate the urgency of this problem, which is perhaps the number one thing that I've been trying to do, is really identify this as perhaps one of the most urgent problems we have to face today as society, together with global warming and other major problems. I don't think there's enough energy focused on this one at the moment.
Shlomo, let me ask you about the cybersecurity approach that companies need to have in 2026, not just from the deepfake side, but also attacks on their own network. How is this evolving as we talk about AI and democratize access to this type of technology?
So cyber defense is a little bit different. This is more on the fraud side, and cyber defense is also greatly influenced from the proliferation of super capable AI models, as we've seen in recent events where nation states are starting to use these tools in order to industrialize what was once a very sophisticated attack. And the only way to fend this off is by using AI in order to defend. And enterprises need to do that. And I'll say again that governments need to take a bigger role in helping enterprises and citizens protect themselves against this type of attack. It can't be that on the cyber war front, citizens are off to defend themselves, either individually or as corporations.
When it comes to the last 10 years or so, I think it's fair to say that a lot of businesses, a lot of users outsourced a network to security to major players, as some of the cloud providers. Now, as those same cloud providers have become hyperscalers and are pushing models as a service, is it fair to just rely on these major players to, again, protect us for the next decade?
Well, I would say that, first of all, centralizing security with cloud provider actually improves security. These cloud providers have major resources, major talent that, a small organization not necessarily has. So this is a step forward. I would say that beyond that step, also governments in their jurisdiction need to help cloud providers and any type of enterprise protect against sophisticated attacks from other nation states. I think that is the missing element today.
But Shlomo, I mean, I'm looking backwards now, and obviously you're looking forwards, but historically, the way that attacks have happened haven't been that sophisticated, really. They've just been on the fact that you blitz an organisation, you blitz the members of that organisation with spam or phishing exercises or whatever it may well be, and it just takes one click on one link from one individual to get it wrong. The attackers only have to get lucky once. The defenders of the integrity of an organisation or a network have to get it right every time. And sooner or later, someone's going to make that mistake and click on the wrong thing.
So I agree that it's an asymmetric war, and that's why cyber needs to be defense needs to be sophisticated, and you need to invest a lot in order to make it work. And this is a industry that is in constant Red Queen race, running as fast as possible in order to protect against the next level of attack. But from day one of the internet, there have always been a mixture of broad-based, simple attacks and very sophisticated attacks. And both of them are ever increasing. And with AI, this is a quantum leap forward. Both in the sophistication of the few sophisticated attacks and both in the volume of the simple, let's find one loophole and get into it. And we need to advance cybersecurity to address that quantum leap.
Shlomo, thank you very much for joining us today. Shlomo Kramer with us, CEO of Cato Networks.